Hello and welcome DCL fans. We're here with Sword Shield, Jimmy G the Milkman versus Theodore Manny. Now Theo is very well known for pretty much this exact archetype of stall, and we'll see how Jimmy wants to approach this. So it looks like he has weakness policy on the G King, but the Slowking tricked that away and offloaded his scarf onto the G King. So that means this G King is effectively neutralized now. It's locked into Sludge Bomb, so Theo's probably going to go Scizor here, get his regen, or he'll go Stun Fist to get rocks up. He does go Stun Fist, also covers the Corviknight, which would cover Scizor, so Theo very smart about how he plays this stall team. He's basically the only one to ever pull it off, really. Like a super fat team, and he's always super consistent in these team tours. But you know, it does have its flaws here and there. Alright, Stunfisk is in. He's probably going to get up rocks here. Corviknight is probably going to be forced out. Sandaconda probably comes in to trade rocks. But knowing Theo, this is going to be literally at least 4 boots. You know? He does go for Toxic, actually, expecting the switch out. Is it not rocks on Fisk then? That's what I'm thinking. So Sandaconda is Shed Skin, so the Clef does come in. Is Clef going to be the rocker? Theo wouldn't run no rocks, so I would, yeah, there go the rocks. Okay, makes sense. Corviknight comes in. It's not pressure, it is mirror armor, so that's interesting. I feel like you would definitely want to be pressure versus this team, no? If at any point you need to PP stall something, which is not unheard of, you know? Alright, so Superpower will KO the Lycanroc Dusk, and yeah, that's a huge threat gone. Yeah, Jimmy was not expecting that Superpower, or he thought he would live, because Theo does run very bulky Torns, but Lycanroc is a frail Pokemon, so Superpower is going to knock it out. It makes sense, also covers the Obstagoon, and yeah, so this specific team, Scizor, Slowking, Tornadus, Clefable, and then you can fill in the rest with whatever's available in the draft. In this one, it's Audino, Stunfisk, and there's an Eldegoss on the bench as well. So this stall team Theo uses, he's very good at using. He has 10,000 hours on it or something, but you're always going to see the Scizor, the Slowking, and the Torn. And the rest is kind of you know, whatever will fit. But yeah, gets another Toxic on the Sandaconda. Stone Edges the Torn. This is a big chip, but he's just going to regen it off, probably. Going to Clef with the U-turn chip. I would assume Clef comes out here. Audino, same thing. Yeah. That's a very strong Sandaconda, so it's probably, what, Adamant max attack? It would make sense, but this Audino is just going to protect here, most likely. But he's going to switch to Scizor. Okay, and it is Boots on Scizor. Clefable comes out. So this is not a lot of boots, to be honest. The Unaware Clef taking rocks. The Audino has leftovers. The Torn and the Scizor are boots. So, yeah. I guess more so his plan is to trade rocks, since the court change could be there anyways. You're not gonna see spikes or anything. There's no spikes on either team. Torn comes out here after sacking to the Obstagoon. This guy is going to be the number 1 threat, I feel like. With Fire Punch and Facade, it kind of picks up a KO every time. With the Flame Orb and the rocks, you know, it is going to wear it down, and Torn can always revenge with the Superpower, or even just the threat of Superpower, right? You can't risk Obstagoon ever. Slowking comes in to absorb the U-turn, but now it's Choice Scarf, so I'm guessing he will get some regen here. No, he does not get any regen. So he's kind of committing to Slowking being pretty low. Goes Scizor to bait a Flamethrower. Gets Fisk in, gets burned. Okay. Does Jimmy take this as an opportunity to switch something in? Sandaconda maybe? Corviknight comes in on the Earth Power, okay. Is he using this as a pivot to get Sandaconda in safely on a electric move? I feel like Theo can very easily just Earth Power again, right? Because this is never staying in. Make the read? Yeah, he does make the read. Very good by Theo. Alright, so now what? Obstagoon comes in, has to just hit something with Facade. Are we going to see a Scizor pivot, or are we going to see a Slowking sack? I could see Scizor coming in on the Facade and then getting Bullet Punch. He does Protect, okay, that's good for getting Burn Chip. But still, he's going to have to basically sack a Pokemon here to Facade, or make the very risky Scizor play. I feel like the Slowking is time to go. Torn. That is... okay, it lives. I was going to say that has to be like super physically defensive then to take that. And he doubles into Scizor on the Corviknight. Doesn't want to U-turn for some reason. Interesting. Yeah, the Torrent is faster. It switched first, so I don't know why he didn't U-turn there. Oh, predicting Rocky Helmet Corv. Makes sense. Okay. He just doesn't want to take Chip. I didn't realize it was Helmet. Alright, so Scizor U-turns, and then the Corv also U-turns. G-King comes in. This Torrent is pretty low, and the G-King answers are kind of low as well. The Stunfisk is on 66 and burned. U-turn comes out. What is he going to lock into? Sludge Bomb? Sludge Bombs the Audino, gets the poison, but we're probably going to see Heal Bell here, if I had to guess. Get the burn off of Slowking and heal the poison. Yeah, there it is, and you can regen this off. Yeah, so now Cinderace is actually looking like a giant threat, actually. Slowking is low, Stunfisk is low. Yeah, Power Ball should be a KO here, and it took Rocks, which means I expect Choice Band on this Cinderace. It does make sense as the fire resists on this team are not that great. And yeah, so he picks up a kill on the Audino. This is a game now. Torn can't really revenge this, so he has to go Stunfisk. But I don't know how much this takes. I assume it will protect here to get a little bit of leftovers. So you could take that as a turn to... oh, it's not banded, so it's pads maybe? Because he U-turned on a static Stunfisk. So maybe pads. I'm trying to play around Helmet Slowking or something like that? I don't know. Let's see. What does he go to here though? This Stunfisk is like an offensive threat. Obstagoon comes in. This is pretty brave. Yeah, he's just going to protect next turn. Is this Rest Obstagoon? That would be kind of insane. There's no way, right? If it is Rest, how does Theo deal with that? Rest Obstagoon plus G-King kind of just wins, doesn't it? So it's not Rest, okay. There's a Protect. Yeah, a good tech that some people run versus Theo is just Rest on a random offensive mon. And then like towards the end game when it's already broken a few things but it's low HP, you can just rest up and then waste those 2 turns relatively easily. But yeah, this is not going to be the case here, obviously. And the G-King is just going to fish for poisons versus Stunfisk, but the lefty's Protect is very strong. And Earth Power is going to be somewhat threatening at some point. Does switch out into Scizor, very safe, and then it's just going to be a free U-turn. Or he can double out if he expects the Corviknight to come in with the helmet, but he does just U-turn. Alright, Cinderace comes in, and now it's going to pick up another KO, most likely. Do we see a Slowking sack? I assume this is a Slowking sack. I don't see how it could be anything else. Yeah, the Slowking does get sacked here. I assume, right? Yeah, okay. Hits 2 Power Balls, that's good. One more Rock Switch and the Cinderace is going to be in Blaze range. Now, if it can take a Bullet Punch from there, that's going to be really important, because that'll pick up the KO on Stunfisk, I imagine. So we're going to see a U-turn here, most likely, into what? G-King? It's like not a great switch into Stunfisk here, but Cinderace is posing a pretty big threat. I feel like if you're able to KO the Stunfisk, then your G-King can lock into Flamethrower, right? Oh, you just attack the Stunfisk. I guess this also works if you're going for a Flamethrower endgame, but I don't know about that. I feel like you could have gone Corviknight, potentially. But I don't know if Lefty's Protect just out-damages you, and then it can heal forever. I don't know. Interesting. We're gonna see Ice Beam. Does he not have Flamethrower? He does have Flamethrower. I feel like Flamethrower was probably the play, no? Because now the Scizor is just gonna... yeah, okay, he predicts the Scizor to U-turn there on the Corviknight, but Theo does not have to make that play, he just knocks here. Was that not like a super dangerous knock? If you knock off the... Actually, no, it was low. It would have died to knock. I was going to say, if you knock off the Scarf, then it can switch moves, but it was in range. Alright, so this Corv... What's he going to do? U-turn here? I feel like the Scizor can just kind of sit, scout this out, see what it wants to do. Yeah, he's just going to sit on it. Reflect is interesting. Okay. So it's going to get 5 turns of Reflect. So the Torn does come in on the G-King, get your Regenerator, but now you have to lock into a move. What's it going to be? It's not going to be Flamethrower here because Torn can easily stay in, I think. I guess you could Flamethrower, but I don't know. It's kind of tough here because Ice Beam probably doesn't even KO the Torn, but if you Ice Beam in a Scizor, that's like pretty bad. It's not the end of the world because you do have your Corviknight, but then like Stuntus can come in, get leftovers, protect, you know, all that stuff. Interesting. So how's this gonna end, right? Superpowers. Is it only Superpower and U-turn? Defog and what? Superpower is like pretty weird there, I feel like. Surely there's another move that's better. Maybe it's just a knockoff blast and he doesn't want to remove the Scarf. That's probably it. Alright, Jimmy once again trying to call the U-turn, but Theo just never has to make that play. He can make it here though, yeah, because at that point you don't really stay in, you can't. But now the Stuntus is getting its leftovers. G-King comes back in. Does he Earth Power? He discharges. So this is getting interesting now, because now Flamethrower is like actually a threat. He Ice Beams again, man. I don't think you can Ice Beam here. I think you have to Flamethrower. Am I wrong in that? Anyways, the Corv does come in. It's gonna roost up here, or he's just gonna commit and U-turn on the Stunfisk. No, he does just roost, and it's probably just gonna be U-turn in the G-King. I don't know what else he would click. He keeps going for these discharges. Yeah, Theo's just playing safe. He's just attacking what's in front of him at this point. So he keeps locking the Ice Beam, but like this is not progress. Like the Fisk is healing up from this, and your G-King is taking more damage than regen. He freezes the Scizor. Okay, maybe that's what he was going for. Now he's just gonna try to get regen. And it doesn't work out. So, you know, a little bit lucky, a little bit unlucky, you know. Lucky enough to get the freeze, but not lucky enough to keep it there, you know. But he had to go for that, I feel like. Well, maybe, I feel like if you just Flamethrower every time, doesn't Torn, like, not want to knock you off, so it can't actually touch you? I feel like Flame every time is better, no? Anyways, Theo is going to wrap this one up, it looks like. And that's going to be a GG. Unfortunately, the Milkman is not going to, you know, deliver. But it was a good game to watch. Yeah, that's another thing about Theo. He brings these stall teams, but he always clicks in like 5 seconds, so the game always goes fast. It's a decent viewing experience, you know? But yeah, the Scorviknight Parrot is just gonna lose. Let's pull up the chat real quick, because they are talking. GG had a lot more ice beam fishing for freeze than he had turns frozen, is all I'm gonna say. So basically, he got haxed. Anyways, that's gonna be all for me. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.